Decision on the bail application of the 3 cops implicated in the murder of Nathaniel Julies. That's been postponed to the 28th of September. For the latest on the story, we cross live to our reporter Sipha Kema, who is in Soweto. Sipha, what was the reaction like when the judge didn't give a verdict today, but instead says that he needs to deliberate on this a bit further and that court will reconvene on the 28th of September?
Well, Tammy, let's quickly get into what the NPA is saying quickly here.
With the law, hence we oppose bail, citing grounds that some of the state witnesses are their colleagues, so they are known to them, and therefore there's likelihood that they will tamper with the state's investigation. And furthermore, that their release on bail will further undermine public peace. We know that there is currently also a public outcry about their release on bail. We've seen the mother also giving supporting documents to the state in opposition of their release on bail. So yeah, those were some of our grounds for opposing their release on bail.
Lawyer for accused number 2 saying that it looks like the state did not bring enough evidence to actually, push for this opposing of this particular application. He says that it looks like there are more police officials who are supposed to be actually here to give this particular evidence in order for your ground to stand.
Look, the onus is on the accused persons to bring evidence and convince the court that exceptional circumstances exist that permits their release on bail. So the onus is not on the state. If they felt that they wanted to call such witnesses, they could have done so. What we have done as the state is to prepare our own case in opposing their release on bail. So it is not up to the defense to dictate to the state as to who they must call, when and how. This bail application process, the onus was on the accused persons to convince the court on a balance of probabilities that there are exceptional circumstances that permit their release on bail.
Here, the state prosecutor, your colleague, saying that the investigation is not complete, which is one of the reasons why you are opposing this bail application. What does that mean? Does it mean that we are likely to see other police officials who might be linked to this murder coming into this court?
Well, as the prosecutor have said in court, that investigations are ongoing. They are not yet concluded, so only the investigations will guide us as to whether or not there are more people who must be brought before court to come and answer. So we'll be guided by those investigations. But yes, indeed, we can confirm as the NPA that the investigations are not yet concluded.
All right.
Now, just to add on to the question regarding accused number 3. Now, his attorney made a point of actually saying that, accused number 3 not being able to give an explanation, of course, as to why accused number 3 was on the scene. It seems as though the state is sticking to that in terms of his not being granted release on bail.
Remember that the accused number 3 is charged with murder as an accessory after the fact and also defeating the ends of justice. So more of the information that you had in court actually relates to the charges that the state has preferred against him. But what our grounds to oppose their release on bail are contained in section 60 subsection 4. Those are grounds A to E, and as the state we elected to use grounds A, B, C and E. So likelihood of them tampering with investigations, likelihood of intimidation of witnesses, and also the fact that their release on bail might disturb public peace.
Thank you so much. Well, Tammy, that is Phindi Louw-Mjonondwane, the spokesperson for the National Prosecuting Authority, of course, giving us her take on how the state delivered in terms of the arguments here today, whether or not the three officers should be granted bail, and also talking, of course, regarding the arguments made by the said attorneys of the three officers who, of course, applied for bail here today. And as you mentioned, Tammy, that the magistrate has adjourned court until the 28th of September, which will then be the verdict of whether or not the three officers will be granted bail. But it seems as though the state is happy with the arguments that they've brought forward. And not only that, you heard Phindi Louw-Mjonondwane talking about whether or not the case that they brought through, was it strong enough, of course, and also added on to the fact that the state, the defense attorneys had said that the state did not supply the full statements and documents for them. She said that that was not on the onus of the state, but rather of the defense attorneys.